looking to other places. Let's talk about Tesla, which is the largest EV manufacturer in America and non-unionized, and how important you see that for the future of your union.
You know, the Elon Musk of the world that have the Teslas, you know, they want to, you know, that's how billionaires get their money. They do it on the backs of the working class people.
Elon Musk gets rich on the backs of working class people. Yeah, just like every other multimillionaire. There could be some millionaires that actually earn their wealth, but not many. Very, very few people ever got rich by working hard. Please tell me one person who got rich without ripping someone else off. Just throwing out some numbers. If Tesla has 5,000 workers, I have no idea how many they have, and Musk handed out $20 million to every single worker, he'd still have tens of billions left. I'm pretty sure he can afford to raise wages a bit. Just to be clear, if Musk was to magically hand out $20 million to just 5,000 workers, that would be a bill of $100 billion. Of course, Tesla in fact has roughly 130,000 workers, so he'd actually be up for about $2.6 trillion. A true fact is the harder you actually work, the less you will be paid. Now imagine that's your mindset. Imagine you're this person and you actually think this is true. And imagine you happen to work at the same company where somebody else has the mindset of, if I over-deliver and exceed what is expected of me consistently, my career will progress and my pay will increase over time. Who do you think 10, 15, 20, 30 years from now will be earning more in their career? The person who thought that the harder they work, the less they'd be paid, or the person who thought, the harder I work, the more I go above and beyond, the more my career will advance. It's hilarious how many gullible people hailed this ordinary little rich boy as some kind of superhuman genius when it was abundantly clear once you barely scratched the surface, all he ever did was ride on others' backs to make himself rich, as so many rich boys do. He's never had a single original thought in his entire life. In this video, why the bottom 1% will remain the bottom 1%. And I'm not talking about bottom 1% income or assets, but mindset. So I saw this from MSNBS, quote, the UAW chief, Tesla's Elon Musk gets rich on the backs of working class people. I thought, this could be interesting to react to. I've discussed Shawn, Psychopath, Fain fairly recently. Guys going to accelerate the demise of Detroit automakers. And boy, you better believe I'll be revisiting these comments and claims from myself a few years from now when these companies file for bankruptcy. One of the many reasons they cite, including unsustainable payroll expenses. So we're going to watch this video. I might share a few thoughts, keeping in mind that MSNBS is here to tell you that Elon bad. One of the many cogs in the wheel of the Hatestream Media who hate you and hate humanity. And I've just noticed something as I'm introducing this video. Apparently there's just over 23,000 views on this video, yet not a single person has pressed the like button. The view count seems to be up to date. Is it a little bit suspicious that not a single person has clicked the like button on this? Maybe it's because I'm in an incognito tab because I don't want this bullshit being recommended to me. Anyway, I'm sure it just must be a glitch on YouTube and not a very suspicious circumstance in which 0 people watching this video actually found it useful enough to click the like button. I mean, this is bizarre. I'll refresh it later. Maybe it's just a glitch. So before we watch this video, I thought it might be informative to read some of the comments. After all, this kind of content is a magnet for people plugged into the hive mind who don't think for themselves. Millionaires get rich off the backs of hardworking people. Well said, sir. When you see historic, massive corporate profits, massive CEO wages, and stock options, you know it's time to renegotiate wages for your union. No brainer there. Already I'm getting some slight NPC vibes here. I mean, it's almost as if these comments are like AI generated, just trying to be pro-union without actually making a huge amount of sense. Now, look, I'm sure I'll get into this in a moment, but this theme of millionaires getting rich off the backs of hardworking people, I have some thoughts. Shawn has done a great job for Labour. Thank you, President Biden, for standing with the American workers. From the bottom up and middle out is who built America. Definitely getting some bot vibes here. Yeah, go union, go blue. Vote for the working people who are the backbone of this nation. The lesson is to respect our workers. Go unions. Revoke the world's richest, racist federal subsidies in auto, internet and aerospace industries. Ay, ay, ay. Truer words were never spoken. Bargaining and unionizing go hand in hand. Fight on. Unions, yes, vote blue. Isn't it interesting, by the way? It's like so many people here, part of a hive mind in which if you support unions, you must vote Democrats. Weird. In all fairness, that hardly makes Elon Musk unique among rich people. Somebody trying to be slightly balanced here. Joe Biden has been a real blessing for this country. God bless him. Vote blue. I mean, bro, come on, man. I'm just going to click on these. Nah, I'm voting red. Interesting. If it's freedom from woke people, feel free to move to Russia. The person who was told to move to Russia responds, why would I do that? I'm black. To which somebody else responds, so you like voting against your own interests? What? So apparently, if you're black and you don't vote Democrat, you're voting against your own interests. So, I mean, the level of racism here is just astonishing. Do you know my interests? This is going to be good. Yeah, see, exactly. Absolute hilarity going on here. Let's see how much you assume about me because I'm black. Indeed. You got him. Did the big guy get his 10%? All right, cool. So let's move on. Yay, I'm so glad UAW won this time. Tesla got a $500 million loan from the federal government and everyone who bought the car in California got a $7,500 rebate. That's what drove sales. No big surprise there. We live in an oligarchy, a plutocracy, and a feudal society. The people in the castles live off the backs and labour of those outside the castle who lose the full benefits of their own labour. This man is a national treasure. I come from a country where socialism destroyed the country. By the way, spoiler alert. For the record, destroyed the country are superfluous words because everywhere socialism is attempted, it destroys the country. I'm all for unions with democracy, but unions need to be good managers of the future. Well, spoiler alert, the UAW is not. If they get it wrong, UAW will. Instead of benefits, they will destroy progress and viability. Leave Tesla, etc. in peace until they become dominant like the legacy car industries. Then go for it. It's about changing the world from a blah, blah, blah. Okay, yeah, cool story, bro. Name a rich person who doesn't get rich off the backs of working class people. And how is it their fault? Start your own business. Oh, look at this. What an absolute legend. Somebody with a brain making some sense in the comments here. Somebody else responding to Jason, the same guy, by the way, who was in the comments earlier, being told he was voting against his interests if he didn't vote a certain way because apparently somebody knowing his skin color could determine his own interests. Don't even try. It's pointless with these people, by the way. That's actually true. Just throwing out some numbers. If Tesla has 5,000 workers, I have no idea how many they have. Apparently also no idea how to use a search engine. And Musk handed out $20 million to every single worker. He'd still have tens of billions left. I'm pretty sure he can afford to raise wages a bit. Now, I'm not here to pick on people that aren't particularly intelligent, but just to be clear, if Musk was to magically hand out $20 million to just 5,000 workers, that would be a bill of $100 billion. Of course, Tesla, in fact, has roughly 130,000 workers, so he'd actually be up for about $2.6 trillion. But that's not really the point. The point is, poor need 100K here, username checks out, doesn't seem to be aware that Musk doesn't even draw a fucking salary. Do you know how this guy pays his bills? He has loans to borrow against his equity in companies including Tesla and SpaceX. He pays for living expenses, everything, by borrowing money and paying interest on that. It's called a line of credit. The ignorance here is just palpable. So at least this person was honest. I'm pretty sure, as opposed to I am sure, he can afford to raise wages a bit. But no, that's not how it works. Another thing, ladies and gentlemen, is you are paid in proportion to how much value you bring to the marketplace. Okay? It's called capitalism. Good thing is it's a ladder. If you're not happy with how much money you're being compensated with at a certain company, including stock options and everything else, guess what? If you're actually worth more, if you actually bring more value than you're being compensated, you can just go elsewhere and get paid what you're worth. And if it turns out you can't find anywhere else to get paid what you believe you're worth, well, unfortunately, you have misjudged your worth to the marketplace, the value to the marketplace. This is called reality. Didn't all people get that by taking advantage of their workers? Boy. This is some next level potato thinking, okay? If we exclude people who have inherited wealth and divorcees, almost the same thing, there are almost zero exceptions to this rule. People who have a high net worth have not done so by taking advantage of workers. They have done so by adding value to society. That's how it works. Most cogs in the machine, dutiful little hamsters in the wheel, obedient little hive mind slaves working for somebody else, have no idea the amount of stress and risk and responsibility that business owners take on. They turn up, they do their hours, they clock off, they get paid the same amount with absolute certainty. Meanwhile, the person who's actually founded, starting and operating the company carries all the risk, all the responsibility, all the stress. That is a huge burden. Oftentimes it doesn't work out and they go bankrupt. You'll be hard pressed to find a billionaire who didn't, in reaching that status of net assets, create thousands, tens of thousands, in many cases hundreds of thousands of direct and indirect jobs. The sense of entitlement of people who've put food on their table through the risk-taking of another, the hard work of another. the intense stress of another, to think they've been taken advantage of rather than given an opportunity, is astonishing. This is the thinking of a broke-ass motherfucker. And until a broke-ass motherfucker changes the way they think, they will forever remain a broke-ass motherfucker. Speaking of mindset, a true fact is the harder you actually work, the less you will be paid. Now imagine that's your mindset. Imagine you're this person and you actually think this is true. And imagine you happen to work at the same company where somebody else has the mindset of, if I over-deliver and exceed what is expected of me consistently, my career will progress and my pay will increase over time. Who do you think 10, 15, 20, 30 years from now will be earning more in their career? The person who thought that the harder they work, the less they'd be paid, or the person who thought, the harder I work, the more I go above and beyond, the more my career will advance? Interesting to ponder, isn't it? And somebody with low verbal intelligence regurgitating the old tax the rich. I highly recommend anybody who gets triggered by my statement there, read a bit of Thomas Sowell. Oh wait, that would involve reading. So it's probably not going to happen, is it? Because that would be too hard. Oh, it's a shame. Every billionaire gets rich by exploring, I'm pretty sure they meant exploiting, the working class. That's called capitalism. Boycott Musk products. Elon Musk gets rich on the backs of working class people. Quote, yeah, just like every other multimillionaire, there could be some millionaires that actually earn their wealth, but not many. Very, very few people ever got rich by working hard, says a broke-ass motherfucker who will forever remain a broke-ass motherfucker because they have a broken way of thinking. Okay, you have to understand, ladies and gentlemen, how toxic this kind of mindset is. If you genuinely think that just about every multimillionaire didn't earn their wealth, didn't work hard, didn't make any sacrifices, just magically, miraculously, luckily got rich and or exploited people to get there, you'll never even make an attempt because you don't want to be an exploitative, lucky person who didn't work hard, right? So you won't even try. This is total horseshit. I personally know dozens and dozens of multimillionaires. I can't name a single one who didn't work their fucking face off, make huge amounts of sacrifices, take risks. Not one. And I'm sure they're out there, but they are certainly the exception to the rule. I had lunch with a friend yesterday. Guy's making a couple of $1 million a year. A decade ago, we first began discussing our future plans and our goals and our ambitions. Both working jobs we didn't enjoy, earning an average salary. But while most people complain and have this kind of mindset, we were trying to understand what we needed to do to reach our financial goals. And then we did what we needed to do, which included working 50, 60, 70, 80 plus hour weeks for year after year after year, adding extreme amounts of value in our respective businesses, going above and beyond, learning, reading books, attending seminars, professional development, doing everything we possibly could to become excellent at our craft and over-deliver to surprise and delight our customers and clients. Another friend comes to mind, who while working full-time was also driving an Uber after hours just to save deposits to buy real estate to get ahead financially. While people like this were sitting around drinking beers on the weekend and complaining about how rich people don't work hard. Losers. Absolute fucking losers. If you think like a loser, you are, in fact, a loser. And you will remain a loser until you change the way you think. Now, these are unfortunately just the facts. And a lot of people with a toxic mindset, you understand, Steve, you just happen to know people who work hard, but most billionaires didn't earn it. If that's you, you're f***ed, okay? Just give up. Oh wait, you already have. How are billionaires going to be able to maintain their many mansions, yachts, space rockets if they have to pay workers for their hard work? The billionaires are going to revolt and take their toys to Mars. Oh, now this is a great comment. Doesn't the UAW chief also, quote, get rich on the backs of working class? Yeah, exactly. Don't look into how much compensation Shawn Fain is currently receiving. All billionaires make their money from the efforts of other people. No billionaire ever gets wealthy all by himself. Of course, it's a team effort. Don't live for work. Work to live instead. The billionaires don't give a crap about you. We are all replaceable to them. Life is too short to be a corporate slave. Oh, here's a great one. It's hilarious how many gullible people hailed this ordinary little rich boy as some kind of superhuman genius when it was abundantly clear once you barely scratched the surface. All he ever did was ride on others' backs to make himself rich as so many rich boys do. He's never had a single original thought in his entire life, said Lamia Gumbo from his or her mother's basement. Please tell me one person who got rich without ripping someone else off. Another broke-ass motherfucker with a broken-ass mindset who's going to remain a broke-ass motherfucker indefinitely. No matter who it is gets rich off the backs of someone else. And when they become rich, they can become wealthy as they have the money to invest, or their dad/grandparents did something wrong to leave them money. I never met a billionaire who needed to work 2 minimum wage jobs to survive. Now, funnily enough, you'll find early days many current billionaires did in fact work their dicks off. But here's the thing. If somebody's working 2 minimum wage jobs to survive, I feel for them, but there is also a solution. They could learn some skills, increase the value they add to the marketplace, and climb the ladder of income so they're no longer earning a minimum wage. Okay, it's a ladder. Everyone starts at the bottom, but everyone can climb as high as they desire. Now, some will climb higher than others, and sometimes the juice is not worth the squeeze. It maybe doesn't make sense to climb to the very top of the ladder. The amount you'll have to sacrifice to do so is absolutely insane. But the difference between a quote billionaire and somebody working 2 minimum wage jobs to survive is that the billionaire has increased their value to the marketplace, added value, taken risks, and the person working 2 minimum wage jobs is providing minimum value to the marketplace. It's just true. A reasonable comment, and by the way, I have skipped some of the more reasonable comments here. It's not all just absolute morons. But here's a good one, worth sharing. There is nothing stopping the working class from going out there and starting their own business. When you take all the risk, you can get all the profits. Do you think Mr. Musk just woke up one day, a billionaire? Apparently everyone does think that, actually. So enough of the comments. Let's watch this video, and I'm going to have to refresh this. Something's got to be broken with this like button. Surely there is no way. I mean, the statistical improbability of over 20,000 people watching this, not a single person clicking the like button. It does not add up. Let's refresh this, and then we'll watch.
This week, the United Auto Workers announced...
Okay, seriously, it's broken, bro. It still says 0. Anyway, let's hear what Shawn... Eat the Rich Fain has to say, the guy who's making multiple 6 figures while pretending to identify with the people who are too dim to understand that he's not one of them. And he's working for his own self-interests, gaining power and influence, which will ultimately result in the destruction of the companies whose workers he purports to represent. Let's see how easily this psychopath is able to manipulate the media, who hate you and hate humanity, or PS, Elon bad, and whether or not anything he says makes sense, or whether everything he says is engineered simply to strike a nerve with the people who are too dull to understand anything he actually says.
This week, the United Auto Workers announced that its members at each of the big 3 U.S. automakers had officially ratified their newly negotiated contract. According to the union, 64% of workers across Ford, Stellantis, and General Motors voted in favor of the deal, won by the union after a 6-week strike. And in an enduring lesson about the power of labor unions, the new contract brought gains beyond UAW membership. At least half a dozen non-union automakers, Hyundai, Honda, Toyota, Nissan, Subaru, and Volkswagen, all announced they would raise the pay of their U.S. auto workers, most roughly in line with the UAW contract. This cements the longest auto worker strike in 25 years as not only a huge success for the UAW, but a success for all auto workers across the industry.
Fact check. We'll just have to check back in 5 years and see how well this claim has aged. I conjecture that the companies who have agreed to these absolutely insane, financially catastrophic compensation increases will either already have filed for bankruptcy, be raising going concerns in their quarterly filings, or be just around the corner from going out of business. And this will be one of the multiple drivers causing their inevitable demise. This is extremely short-sighted, and it won't end well. So calling victory now, perhaps maybe a little premature.
And a reminder of the impact a unionized workforce can have on the distribution between wages and profits. Joining me now for an exclusive interview, the man who led the union in that strike, Shawn Fain, President, United Auto Workers of America. Congratulations on this very successful undertaking. How stressed out were you about how long this might go?
So I'm going to take this one. Sorry, Shawn. Stressed out, Shawn. 1, psychopath, probably doesn't experience stress. Number 2, why would he be stressed out about this being a prolonged strike? He gives 0 fucks what happens to the companies. He just cares about his own reputation. And it's working. His plan right now, new president of the UAW, is to curry favour with UAW members who are too dim to realise that the demands he's forced upon these automakers will ultimately bankrupt them. So instead of these employees getting a 30+% pay increase, they're going to ultimately get a 100% pay decrease. Why would Shawn Fain be at all concerned about the length of these strikes? It's not he who is bleeding billions of dollars, nor is it the company for which he works that will ultimately go bankrupt by agreeing to these insane demands. I have to say, however, he does look rather pleased with himself. Anyway, over to you, Shawn. I just thought I'd explain the actual answer to that. Let's see what he's got to say.
Hey, Chris, thanks for having us, and it's an honor to be here. And I'll tell you, really wasn't stressed out about how long it takes because we knew we had the power of the membership behind us, and we had a membership because of our contract campaign and things we've done differently since we took over, our membership was energized and ready to do whatever they had to do to get the right results. So it was just really a matter of the strategy and how we were going to exercise that and just fully use the power of the membership. And that's what gave us power at the bargaining table.
Looking to other places, let's talk about Tesla, which is the largest EV manufacturer in America and non-unionized, and how important you see that for the future of your union.
Well, I think one of the best, another thing we've done with this agreement, I mean, when I took over, we were DOA when it came to the EV battery work. We were in a bad position. And, again, thanks to the power of the membership standing up, we were able to bargain some of that work under our master agreements, under our standards. We approached the White House and Congress about this issue, and our taxpayer dollars are helping fund that transition. So we expect to bring that standard up everywhere. And, the Elon Musk of the world that have the Teslas, they want to, that's how billionaires get their money. They do it on the backs of the working class people.
Oh my God, bro. Implicit in Shawn's statement is that people who have $1 billion+ in net assets, almost in every case ownership of companies they've created, have exploited workers as opposed to taken incredible risks, an unfathomable burden of stress and pressure, provided jobs, typically tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of direct and indirect jobs, and added incredible value to the marketplace, aka humanity, by providing goods and services that people need and or want. The irony, of course, is that Shawn Fain himself is currently compensated to the tune of multiple six figures per year on the backs of union members, also working class people. Shawn currently is pandering to people with the mindset of a broke-ass motherfucker who will be and remain broke-ass motherfuckers, irrespective of their income. It doesn't matter. If you think like a broke-ass motherfucker, you are and will remain a broke-ass motherfucker. A broke-ass motherfucker, rather than understanding the incredible risks taken on by people who've created companies, being grateful for the fact that they have a job, they can feed their family, thanks to the incredible risks, stress, and other burdens that the person who founded the company for which they work has taken on, feeling entitled, not even understanding that the vast majority of, quote, billionaires are asset rich and cash poor. They don't have billions of dollars sitting around. They're not Scrooge McDuck swimming through a mountain of coins. This form of rhetoric is just disgusting, yet unfortunately effective. He's preaching to the choir of people who think that all billionaires took something from somebody else and exploited work. That's the only way you can get rich, is by taking something from someone else, not creating value. In short, Shawn is preaching to entitled people with a broke-ass motherfucker's mentality who in general would prefer to play the victim than take accountability.
And, they take the profits and other people go poor in the process of these people getting rich so they can, build rockets and fly themselves into outer space or whatever the hell it is they want to do with their spare time.
So in case it isn't abundantly clear, psychopaths like Shawn Fain, and let's just pick another few random names out of a hat, let's say AOC, Elizabeth Warren, Robert Reich, you get the gist, prey upon people in the bottom 1%. And I don't mean income, I mean mindset, although often there is a correlation with the bottom 1% mindset. Terrible health outcomes, terrible relationships, terrible finances, pretty much a terrible life. Fancy that. They prey upon these people. It's not your fault your life sucks, it's someone else's fault. Who can you blame? Somebody took advantage of you. That's why your life's shit. And when one of these psychopaths accrues enough power and influence, such as Shawn Fain of the UAW, if they can strategically target their message effectively enough to those with a bottom 1% mindset, they can stoke hate and vitriol towards people like Elon Musk, while simultaneously currying favour with those they pander to. Typical politicians, right? And in the case of the UAW, Shawn Fain's ability to prey upon the bottom 1% is going to accelerate the bankruptcy of the very companies at which they work. There's two types of people in this world. One type of person automatically looks for an excuse. They seek an excuse. It's not my fault. Taxes are too high. My employer's greedy. They're exploiting me. The world's racist. I'm oppressed. Something patriarchy. So one person, they seek an excuse. The other type of person finds a way. The good news is, when you change your thinking, you change your life. The hard part is actually being willing to change your thinking. Mindset matters a lot more than most people realize. Want more content? Early access? Bunch of perks? Click the links in the pinned comment. AG1 has given me a massive, meaningful boost in energy, allowing me to do a lot more every day, including using my brain more and using my body more. I highly recommend you guys and girls check it out. It's an excellent way to fill in nutritional gaps. It's got 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, and whole food source nutrients, plus prebiotics and probiotics and digestive enzymes and adaptogens to help you deal with stress. Plus, if you click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR, you can get yourself a 1-year free supply of vitamin D3 and K2. But don't take my word for it. Here's what some of you guys and girls have to say. AG1 has changed my life. I was, as you described, treating myself like a circus, ate like trash, rarely exercised, used alcohol as a stress crutch, cannabis also. AG1 is what gave me the kick in the ass, got me back to the gym, motivated me to do more for myself, family, my business, etc. Keep doing what you do. Now, I know there's some skeptics, the same kind of people who think Elon Musk is a fraud, reading this going, what do you thought? There's no way that's possible, bro. It must be a placebo effect. Believe it or not, this is a recurring theme. If you give your body everything it needs to feel and perform its best, including having a lot more energy, you'll need ways to use that energy. For me personally, that includes more exercise, moving my body more social activity, and more cognitively demanding tasks, including producing a ton of exclusive content over on Twitter and on Patreon, plus my daily YouTube uploads. The proof's in the pudding. On to another testimonial from a viewer of this channel. SMR, you asked me to provide feedback on AG1. Here it is. It has helped with mental acuity, stamina, and intestinal waste management. Can't read between the lines. It certainly helps with regularity and digestion. That's what the digestive enzymes are for. It has also dramatically reduced my cravings for sugar. You guys need to stop eating sugar. It's fucking poison. I'm 50, 5'9", and overweight, aka a fat motherfucker. I think that's a technical term for overweight, isn't it? Is it fat motherfucker or obese? I can't remember. I average 100 hours a week in the West Texas oil fields as a safety supervisor. Jesus Christ, dude. No wonder you're struggling to keep your weight under control. 100 hours a week. Brutal. It has helped me lose weight. It is not an appetite suppressant. It can help fat people suppress cravings, and motivation to be healthier is critical for changing your diet. Love you, brother. Again, this is a great point and something people really don't seem to grasp. If you have more energy, everything becomes easier. It's like turning on easy mode for life. A few years ago, before I was taking AG1, my health was trash. I was struggling to get through the day, had afternoon fatigue. The last thing I wanted to do was either use my brain or move my body. Didn't have the energy. Now, my biggest struggle every day is figuring out ways to use that energy. I'm exercising way more, doing a lot more with my friends and family, and of course, my work output has increased substantially. And you can fact check me. Check out the average length of my videos I was posting to YouTube 3 years ago. Need I say more? And one final testimonial. Love this one. Okay, here's the deal for me with this AG1 shit. I'm 41 years old and not the type to eat, drink, smoke, or sleep healthy, so I was skeptical. That being said, here's what I experienced. Day 1, meh. Day 2, afternoon fatigue was about 45 minutes late. Day 3, 0 afternoon fatigue. Day 4, 0 afternoon fatigue plus extra energy. Day 5, again, 0 afternoon fatigue plus energy. Wondering, what the fuck, really? See, this is the thing, right? The results for many people are just almost too good to be true. This is the same experience I had. My afternoon fatigue just vanished out of nowhere. I'm like, wait, what the fuck? Why am I not tired in the afternoons anymore? Surely, it's not that AG1, is it? Turns out it was. Day 6 and 7, same thing. Day 8, same thing. Plus, I had the want to get things done around the house that I normally would slack off and not get done. Again, the point, extra energy, you'll need to use it, you'll find ways to use it. Day 9, 10, and 11, and today is day 12. I fucking love it. So however you managed to get me to buy it, I'm so glad you did. Thank you so much, SMR. It really changed me so far. Guys, this shit really works. Just try it. By the way, this is the reason I continue to relentlessly promote AG1. A lot of people get real fucking mad in the comments. Oh my God, Snake Oil Salmon's sold out. Oh my God, he's a scammer. This is fraud. But constantly, I'm pretty sure everyone making these comments is also currently short Tesla stock. I'm not particularly concerned about people having a negative perception, those folks suffering from small brain syndrome, still living in my bum's basement syndrome, etc., writing mean comments, claiming AG1's a scam or it doesn't work. I mean, bro, when I get feedback like this is what keeps me going. Just try this stuff for a month, and if you don't get these results, get your money back. See, it's a literal no-brainer. It's an IQ test at this point in time. Testimonial after testimonial after testimonial like this. Get your money back if it doesn't work. Just try it for a month, and if it doesn't work, get your money back. Today's the day. It's finally time. Be like this guy who was a massive skeptic, but finally, after 1,000 promotions in a row, caved in, tried AG1, and has results like this. Head to drinkag1.com/SMR or click the link at the pinned comment, and please, let me know how you're feeling in a few weeks' time. Now, if you'll excuse me, time to put my extra energy to good use. I'll be recording some more exclusive content for Patreon and my Twitter subscribers. So click the links in the pinned comment. See you over on Twitter and or Patreon, and don't forget to grab your AG1. Love ya.